Welcome guys, this is Ola from Stop Me O channel. Today we are discussing Life is Strange comic books. I know that this video is long overdue. I've been promising that video here and there, and at first I really wanted to review every single issue that would be out, but then I realized it doesn't really make much sense to review every single issue, and it's better to wait and read most of them and then do a proper review. So I mean, yes, I was supposed to record that video a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Well, here we are. Right now we are reviewing the comic books. Let me start by saying that Life is Strange comic books are official. So they're officially licensed and they're published by Titan Comics. Now there's 12 issues already. They're divided in 4-issue sagas. The first one was called Dust, the second one Waves, the third one Strings, and the fourth one was supposed to be out last month, but because of the whole pandemic situation they sort of dropped it for now. We're gonna have to wait for a long time until it's out. So that's something that you should be aware of. Yeah, I'm going to talk about my opinion when it comes to these comic books. There will be some spoilers involved, so let me start with saying some general things, and then when I move on to the plot itself, I will warn you guys. So if you don't wanna know, then you will just simply stop watching. Now, the author of that story, her name is Emma Viacelli. I think she's a big Life is Strange fan. She's a very nice person, and I think what she invented, the story that she came up with, is actually really cool. Now, it's happening a year after Sacrifice Arcadia Bay ending. So it's one of these two. Now, some would claim that it's not part of the canon. Possibly it's not, but for different reasons than most people would say, I think. Art was done by Claudia Leonardi and coloring was done by Andrea Itzer. There's always a couple of covers to choose from, to pick from. I went for the official line. So I have 12 covers that look alike. I wanted it to be more coherent. First one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, seventh one. Oh, I can't count. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Let me start again. Sixth one, seventh one, eighth one, ninth one, 10th one, 11th. And now the final one, 12th one. This is the one that I actually want to discuss, since this is the one that's sort of foreshadowing what's coming in the next one, the next saga that will be called Partners in Time. Now that's the one that is not out yet. I think generally speaking people seem to enjoy these issues. I checked some reviews, I checked some comments, and people were okay. Obviously this is not something that's as mind-blowing as the original game itself, but it's still really cool to read. I found it enjoyable. I found the characters so well done. When you're reading the comic book, you can actually hear Max and Chloe or Rachel. You can actually hear them in your head, and I think their behavior fits their personality, the one created in the game. So I think that's spot on, and only a person that really knows and enjoys the game would be actually able to pull this off that well. There's also a new character called Tristan. I think this is what separates the comic books from the actual games. Tristan is a new person, a new character. He wasn't in the games, in any of the games, and not Life is Strange, not Before the Storm, and definitely not Life is Strange 2. Yet he's a very likable character, and I've enjoyed having him around. Not at first, but right now I do. Ironically, I think because of him I don't really treat this as part of the official story canon, because, well, he's just simply not part of the universe as we know it, but it doesn't make him any less enjoyable. I think he's an interesting character and sort of a plot twist. Now let's move on to the spoilery part, so be careful. I think what people disliked the most, well, some people, was the fact that the comic books focused too much on the sort of MBPlayz side of things. So Pricefield fans are not really happy that we're focusing on Rachel and Chloe instead of Max and Chloe. Now, I don't really understand that because, well, to me it's really clear that the whole story is about Max, the original Max, going back to Chloe, finding Chloe. Right now Max is stuck in the alternate universe. As you know, there's so many universes out there, and she's basically hanging out with Rachel and Chloe like constantly. She lives with them and they're about to go on a road trip in the next saga, Partners in Time. There are covers, by the way, so you can check them out for issues number 13, 14 and 15. Also, some pages were actually out by accident, and it seems like Chloe, the original Chloe, will be on a road trip as well. She will be staying at similar places or like very close to alternate Rachel, Chloe and original Max that's stuck in the alternate reality. Yeah. So I don't really understand the whole point of saying that it's more on MBPlayz side of things. I think MBPlayz fans can be happy that, well, they got that. I think that's more than Before the Storm offered, in a way. But then again, me being more of a prize fielder myself, I think that it's still satisfying. I find it adorable and very poetic that Max is trying to find her way back. Now, that very last scene of that comic book, issue number 12, was really cool. Chloe was reading a letter to Max. Here's what she said. "It's me again, Maximus, another letter to the void that I hope you'll see one day. A day I finally tell you how I came home from that memorial to find our room, our things, your graffiti on the bin barn tables, every trace of you exactly is as it's been. How I lied to so many people what kept it together because I knew what it meant. That you hadn't been rewritten, that you had a place here, reserved and waiting. After a while, I remembered what you said, about the way paths would open and close, how you could find your way back if the light was strong enough. So I stopped mourning you and started living for you. I was determined to shine so fucking bright that mine would be the only door you could possibly choose. I would be your lighthouse. I loved your ghost, I never stopped, I'm still waiting. Your Chloe." Now that was so cool. It almost made me regret that Chloe hasn't been writing these letters before throughout the whole comics, but then again, if she would have, then it would only make this particular letter less special. Now there was a cliffhanger by the end of that issue, which makes the break between the issues more annoying, if anything. Someone approached Chloe. Now it's pretty obvious that it will be Tristan, since we know that while trying to return to that reality, Max failed and Tristan succeeded. So right now it will sort of change. Tristan and Chloe will be stuck in one reality, and then Max, Chloe and Rachel will be stuck in that another reality. The only thing I don't really find believable plot-wise is the fact that Rachel is practically hanging out with Max, knowing that, Max is in love with Chloe in another reality, and then this very same Chloe is in that reality, in their reality. I know that it's a different Chloe, like she sort of had a different experiences, at least partially, and she's shaped differently, but still, it's almost the same person. I know to Max it's probably a different person, but it makes me wonder, like, how can you not be bothered with this? I also think partially, even though Rachel is, quite similar to her, to herself, the Before the Storm Rachel. She's more of an influencer, so that's always something that I would see. I'm just not really certain if Rachel's relationship with Chloe would survive for the single reason of leaving Arcadia Bay. Now, if you think about it, we know that Chloe and Rachel stayed in Arcadia Bay. There's 3 more years that we know nothing about. We know that in that time they sort of drifted apart, and that happened partially either because of Frank or Mr. Jefferson or, drugs. They separated, right? We know that for certain. Why? We don't know. I guess we will never really know. What I'm trying to say is, I think the comic books is assuming that if Rachel and Chloe left Arcadia Bay and moved to Los Angeles when they decided to, in Before the Storm, then they would be alright. I'm really not certain about that. I don't mean to sound like I'm against sort of MBPlayz, because I'm not. You know that I'm actually fine with either. But this is something that I was thinking about, and I think it's worth discussing. So if you have any ideas about that, if you have any opinions, do share in the comments, then we can discuss that. Do you think that if Rachel and Chloe left Arcadia Bay when they wanted to, in Before the Storm, do you think they would be okay? I mean, together and all. Obviously, Rachel wouldn't die because, Jefferson would be out of the picture, but something else could have happened. So I'm enjoying the comic books. I find them believable, interesting. They're not as great as any of the games, but they're still so well done and something I'm willing to pay for, something that I'm willing to buy and read. But because of them, I keep wondering what would actually happen. I guess this is what I wanted to say. This is what I wanted to briefly discuss. Thank you so much for watching. Do share your opinion in the comment section so we can discuss these comic books. Have you actually read them? You can buy them at forbiddenplanet.com. I'm going to leave the link down below so you can check it out. You can also check out my social media while we're there. So like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all of that basically. Stay safe, guys. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe and healthy. Thank you again for watching. This was Ola from Stop Me O channel. Bye.